He was one of the only ones that would be able to sell to the white man. No discrimination or nothing against us. The only thing, and
what's going on, guys?
Hold on.
They stole, took one of his houses from him. We had 3 houses, and they took one, along with the land. Mm-hmm. So we wound up with 2 houses left, called 917 and 921. Most of us was born in 917. That was the big house. Mm-hmm. That looked like one of those small mansions. That's the way it appeared to us, me at the time.
Yeah.
Had the only one that was not too far from us was old man Johnson. He had his own home and horses. He had a few more horses than we had. But we had more freedom with our, and I used to be tired, and he used to say to me, said to the mule, the mule, mm-hmm. Lucille, go home. He didn't even have to hold the reins. Lucille know the way home from downtown Moultrie, and she would come in there. When she get to that, she run free all over the land around there. And we used to go out there, Lucille, come here. And she'd come just to gather so we could rub her. But if you was a stranger, she wouldn't come to you. And she knew when every child that come across that bridge was home. She knew everybody in the family. And I thought that was amazing.
And he trained her?
Yeah. Oh, and he sold her. He sold her to a man 5 miles out in the country. And one morning we looked out there, Lucille had walked her way back to our house and was in her barn. And a lot of people would think I was telling a strange story, but that was true. Twice he had to return her back to the cellar. She's one of the smartest mules I ever seen. And knew her name just as well.
And remember, I found the information about your grandfather owning his property and mm-hmm. owning his own business as a well digger.
Yeah.
And look at this picture here. This is of the Native Americans that were well diggers. You see the feathers and the dress they have. Mm-hmm. They were commissioned to dig wells.
Quit County, and even the city. If they run out of water or the well went dry, he would go and take it down deeper. And I learned something from him. I used to wonder how Grandpa can dig those wells so deep, and that days and time. And they used to do what they call curving the well. Mm-hmm. They would take lumber and place it just like they do concrete today. And he would curve it all the way down to the bottom so it wouldn't cave in. They call that curving the well. And him and my father mostly did all of that. And I never knew him to have another job other than digging wells.
It was on the census, the 1920 census report. Remember we showed it?
Right. Yeah, digging wells and selling candy and barbecue on the weekend. Mm-hmm. Every weekend he used to barbecue.
Yep, and it's confirmed he didn't work for no white man.
All he did was digging wells for him.
And it said on the census report, it said if you own your own business, and it said AA for African American.
Yeah, because he was one of the few that owned it. And none of my family was ever arrested. Don't care what they did. If they took them overnight, put them in jail, they had to let them out the next day because they had to come to work. Vereen was the owner of just about Moultrie. Vereen and the Pitcocks, Swift and Company. They owned the slaughterhouse. We was just as famous, almost not quite as famous as Chicago, as far as the slaughterhouses. Mm-hmm. We had Swift and Company.
Well, it wasn't just because they had to get back to work. It was because they were natives and they.
Florida, I went to Acadia, just like it. Seemed like and he took me and my uncle Perry and little Perry, but we could go in if we wanted to. So we went to the front of the.
Okay.
And Uncle Frank could do whatever he wanted in Acadia, just like my grandfather did in Motown. Frank, we gotta arrest this boy. He said, well, and he had a little store. And he took Big Frank Sr. could do just what he wanted in Acadia, Florida, man. And famous sister, just like my father's mother. Now, on my father's birth certificate, they call her Emma Royal. And the one that gave my father's birth certificate, it says Emma Royal.
Yeah.
And remember, little mustache.
Man, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, his...
Blair Underwood. Yeah, they were in Georgia.
Yamacraw. You know, they all... We didn't use a hook and line. So we had plenty of fish, and they know how to smoke it and preserve it. You seen this? The West Indians use a lot of it. Salt. We used to cure our own hams. We had a smokehouse.